Hello, everyone. We begin here at 5 o'clock with breaking news and newly released body camera video of a deadly shooting outside a Safeway store on Mill Plain and Andreessen in Vancouver. This happened last week on May 30th. And we do want to warn you, the video is graphic. And while you will hear the sound of gunshots, a lot of them you will not see the person being shot. Though all with the increased attention on police using deadly force, we think it's important to show you a portion of the video since it helps shed light on exactly what happened here. Let's give you a look. Officers say at the time they were trying to arrest 43-year-old Joshua Wilson. They say he was wanted on armed robbery charges. Authorities say they spotted his car, then followed him to the Safeway. When Wilson came out of the supermarket, that is when officers confronted him. Police say he dropped what looked like groceries and then took off across the parking lot. Then from the point of view of one officer's body camera, you see the officer get out of his car, run toward Wilson. You see it here with his gun drawn. When Wilson points a gun at that officer, this officer then fires multiple shots. It is unclear, though, if Wilson ever fired again. You're going to hear the gunshots now, a lot of them fired by the 3 officers and 1 deputy in all. We are not going to show you the shooting itself.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Shortly after, officers tried to give first aid to Wilson, but he did not survive. This is the first deadly police shooting since Vancouver officers started wearing body cameras. All the officers involved are still on leave, which is standard procedure in cases like this.
If somebody out there knows something about it, it would be nice if they would tell somebody. It doesn't matter how huge or how small that little information might be, but it might just be the key that's missing.
It might be the key. 6 years on, the parents of a man murdered in his Portland home are still searching for answers, with Monday the anniversary of the deadly shooting of Brian Spalding near Northeast Portland's Irving Park.
Let's bring in Mike Benner, who's been covering this homicide since the day it happened. Mike, you've talked with the family a lot over the years. How are they holding up after all this time?
You know, Laurel, they are doing as well as can be expected. They tell me Brian Spalding did not have any enemies, so the fact he was shot and killed is something they just cannot understand. And that really explains why they want this case solved so badly. It'll give them answers that have evaded them for years.
Getting along, a day at a time.
George Spalding will tell you the 6 years since his son's murder have been torture for him and his wife. But he'll also tell you other parents of murdered children have it far worse.
Body never recovered, let alone case not solved. So we know exactly what happened with Brian. We just don't know why or who.
George remembers June 12th, 2017 like it was yesterday. His phone rang. The person on the other end told him Brian did not show up to work. George and his wife raced over to Brian's house on Northeast 10th near Irving Park.
Worst day of my life. And so 911, paramedics pronounced him dead.
Brian had been shot to death. Detectives canvassed the neighborhood for clues, but nothing provided any clear-cut answers. And 6 years later, there are still no answers.
If somebody out there knows something about it, it would be nice if they would tell somebody.
Carolyn Spalding wants nothing more than justice for her only son, whose murder has left her feeling helpless.
I don't particularly like to just accept the situation as it is, but it's no good to fight it either.
Carolyn and her husband George hope this is the year Brian's murder is solved once and for all. Resolution in the case, they say, would mean the world to them.
We'll still miss him every day. That will continue on. Nothing can bring him back.
All right, between reward money put up by Crime Stoppers and reward money raised by family and friends, I can tell you that more than $25,000 is available for information that leads to an arrest and conviction in this case. So if you have any information, pick up the phone and call the Portland Police Bureau. Laurel?
Oh, we sure hope they get a break in this case. Thank you, Mike. New information on the Southwest Portland apartment complex that was badly damaged in a suspected arson. According to city officials, the owner of the May Apartments in Goose Hollow has decided to demolish the building. There's no set timeline for that to happen yet. The apartments went up in flames last month. The man accused of starting the fire has been arrested.
In Astoria, Pier 39 has been closed indefinitely after a fire late last night caused significant structural damage. The pier is home to a pub, and the pier's owner tells the Astorian that based on surveillance video, he believes someone smoking may have sparked this fire. Police say they have located that individual. No one was hurt and no word on when the pier could reopen. We're learning much more this evening about the federal indictment against former President Donald Trump over his alleged handling of classified material. The now unsealed indictment includes 37 felony charges and accuses Trump of breaking 7 different laws. Prosecutors allege Trump lied and misled federal investigators in order to hold on to sensitive materials he knew were still classified. According to the indictment, those documents include information on things like U.S. weapons capabilities, nuclear programs, and potential vulnerabilities. The independent special counsel in this case, Jack Smith, made a short and rare public statement a short time earlier.
Laws that protect national defense information are critical for the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced.
Well, Trump has denied any and all wrongdoing. He is expected to surrender Tuesday and appear in federal court in Miami. Now, one of the president's former aides, current aides rather, his butler and a Navy veteran, has also been indicted. Meanwhile, at the White House, President Biden said he had not and will not talk to the Attorney General or Justice Department about this case.
The murder trial is set for a Portland woman accused of intentionally driving into pedestrians on the Las Vegas Strip. This happened back in 2015, just before Christmas. An Arizona woman was killed and dozens of tourists were hurt. Now, the suspect, Paris Paradise Morton, is set to face trial next year. She has spent more than 7 years in state psychiatric care and is now in jail without bail. She's from Portland and traveled through several cities in the U.S. and Canada before arriving in Las Vegas.
We have an update this evening in the case of a man accused of tagging dozens of buildings around Portland, with 22-year-old Emile Loren pleading guilty to some prolific acts of vandalism. Investigative reporter Kyle Iboshi has been following the case closely. Kyle.
The suspect is a professional skateboarder. He avoids jail time after cutting a deal with Multnomah County prosecutors. Instead, Emile Loren got probation, community service, and will have to pay a fine after causing thousands of dollars in damage.
In a city struggling with graffiti, Portland police figured they'd caught a break after nabbing a prolific graffiti vandal. Last summer, 22-year-old Emile Laurent was charged with 25 counts of criminal mischief after allegedly vandalizing buildings, walls, and signs across Portland. Prosecutors say Laurent tagged public and private property with Tendo, thought to be shorthand for Nintendo. After Laurent's arrest, Portland's mayor tweeted, "We will not allow Portland to be marred by graffiti and vandalism," vowing to hold those responsible accountable. Earlier this week, Laurent pleaded guilty to 4 counts of criminal mischief. As part of a deal with Multnomah County prosecutors, he'll avoid jail time. Instead, probation, community service, and restitution. In an email, a spokesperson for the Multnomah County DA's office wrote, "Our office takes cases involving property crime very seriously. Our approach with Mr. Laurent, who is young with no criminal history, was to prosecute with the intent of holding him accountable and ensuring restitution for victims." Laurent is a professional skateboarder who is sponsored and heavily promoted by the apparel firm Polar Skate. He still appears on the Swedish company's website after his conviction. Last August, we tried speaking with Laurent outside of court.
Mr. Laurent, I'm Kyle Iboshi with KGW Channel 8. Any response to the charges you're facing?
No, we don't have any comment at this time. Thank you.
What would motivate someone to tag buildings?
I don't think we have any comment at this time. Thank you very much.
Portland has seen a surge in graffiti over the past 3 years. There were more than 5,000 complaints in 2022. The question is, what's going to stop it? With fresh splashes of graffiti appearing across the city almost every day.
As part of his agreement with prosecutors, Laurent can't have spray paint during his 3 years of probation.
Thank you, Kyle. The theater department at Lincoln High School in Portland is missing $11,000, money that a ticketing company collected in the fall and never gave back. We've previously reported how Brown Paper Tickets has withheld ticket sales from local arts organizations. Our Evan Watson's here now with this new story. And Evan, more arts programs keep coming to you saying they're struggling with this.
Yeah, Laurel, first it was a ballet academy in Beaverton, then a choir in Portland, and now Lincoln High School. The theater department has been waiting on $11,000 for over 6 months now, something the ticketing company should have paid them within about 2 weeks of the performances. Lincoln High School raised the money through a fall variety show called Pop Cycles and a series of plays in December. Documents show Brown Paper Tickets collected the ticket sales, missed deadlines to send the money to the theater program, blamed COVID-19 and staffing shortages, and has now stopped replying. Students at Lincoln High School put on a spring musical on a shoestring budget this spring, and this time a different ticketing company paid the program within days of the performances. Students are fundraising for future productions, hoping the money is eventually paid. Director Tracy Tallarico says she was frustrated to find out that their program wasn't the only one having these problems with Brown Paper Tickets.
I mean, we're not Broadway here. We don't have $1 million backers. We are trying to save every penny, and we all work so hard. And so when you don't have any money to count on, it basically just completely straps you in what you can do moving forward, and it leaves you with very, very few options.
Theater programs in the Portland Public School District are self-funded, with ticket sales going to production, lights, costumes, scholarships, licensing fees, and other costs. I reached out to Brown Paper Tickets asking about the money that's owed to Lincoln High School. I haven't heard back just yet, but previously, when I've asked about other cases, the company has been fairly quick to pay up.
Let's hope that happens this time, too. Thank you, Evan.